Here's your New York Muscle Radio fitness tip with Anthony Bevilacqua and Pete Kacharian.
What's up, guys? New York Muscle Radio's fitness tip number 9. Remember, our fitness tips are short little fitness tidbits in between our normal podcast. So if you're interested in listening to a full-on podcast, be sure to check out the feed you downloaded this from and listen in on a full one. But today's tip is going to be really cool. It's how macro counters will make you fat. You know, there's all these different calculators and all this stuff that will give you your customized quote-unquote macros, all these different programs and apps out there. Even MyFitnessPal has like a custom one. And from what my experience is, if you're bulking and you put that in, those programs are going to make you fat. If you're trying to get lean, you're not going to get lean enough. The problem with these calculators is they're based on an algorithm, which basically means it's a computer program that's going to spit out numbers based on the numbers that you put in. The problem with that is it's not as efficient as using a coach. When you use a coach, the coach is able to kind of eyeball things and use human judgment. You know, when you're using an algorithm, you don't have that.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, the human judgment, because everybody's going to respond differently to different macronutrient ratios too. And even if the computer is smart enough to understand which ratio might be better for you, the fact is that your body might be very adaptable. Certain people adapt more than others. Certain people remain more sensitive to insulin throughout a diet. Some people's insulin sensitivity could change. Many people, when you are leaner and start out on lower calories, high carb diets work really better. Then when your calories get very high, there's kind of a ceiling to carbs, so the ratio might actually have to go down in favor of higher fats, lower carbs. So you're always going to have to adjust based on how your body's responding. So that's really why having a person do it and a good coach to see what's really going on is going to help you. The computer can only do so much, and like you said, it goes by an algorithm. So if one thing works at a certain point and you continue to do it, eventually it might you might stop responding the same way you were, and the computer might not understand why. So, computer's only good enough for the basics, I'd say. Certain things have to be done by humans. Porn. Yeah, the basics, porn, nutrition labels, and workout routines. Pretty much everything else is a waste.
Yeah, those algorithms, like my co-host said, they're just generalized numbers. And commonly what I've seen from all the numbers that I've gotten from working with clients and from what I've tested with other programs is that sometimes the numbers, if you're trying to lean out, they'll make you lose muscle. If you're trying to bulk up, you'll get too fat. That's where you need the human error.
Yeah, and one tip I want to give you, actually, if anybody listening to this, if they are going to use an app like that or something to give them a baseline idea of what they should be doing, is listen to your body while you are taking the recommendations from the app. Don't let the app, be the end-all be-all of your diet. If, you start off listening to the app and, realize, okay, this is working, but I feel like maybe this is too low in carbs or fats or whatever it is because my body seems to be really fighting this. Don't just assume that the app is 100% correct. Use it as a guide to get started, then listen to your body. You can make better judgments that way.
Yeah, and even if the app makes changes for you, so if it'll adjust your macronutrient profile as the diet goes on, those changes may be, they may be too much or they may be too little. So again, this is where having a human and being able to have that human interaction, the human judgment in there is so much more superior than having just an algorithm for any type of program like that.
Yeah, and if you are not using a app and you actually are using a coach, do the exact opposite of that. Listen to exactly what the coach says. So, if you're using a computer, use it, but have a mind of your own. If you're listening to a coach, you can question what your coach is saying, but make sure you listen to what your coach is telling you to do.
Yeah, we don't got nothing else to add to that. So again, if you're using a calculator of some sort to figure out your macros, use it as a baseline. It is not your commandments. Do not be strict to that calculator. All right, guys. Pete and Anthony, New York Muscle Radio fitness tip number 9, and we're out.
Enjoyed this episode of New York Muscle Radio? Make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave us a 5-star review, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, New York Muscle Radio.